Episode 2 is where things really get real. Will has to answer for beating up Carlton. Carlton's true intentions come out, and Hilary is not about to let anybody control her. What's good, y'all? She gets this Erica Vane coming to you again with another Bel Air video. In this video, we're talking about episode 2 from season 1. Let's go ahead and get into what went down. Okay, so this episode really picks up where the previous one left off, and I love that. Like, a lot of streamers are starting to do that, where they are literally allowing for each episode to just be a stop in time, and then the next episode you pick up right where that is. So we get to see Viv and Uncle Phil respond to Will and Carlton from the fight, and basically are trying to hold both of them accountable, but then they also wind up having a conversation separately. And this is where I was like, all right, I'm over Uncle Phil, because Uncle Phil is so ready to get rid of Will immediately, and literally Carlton is the problem. Like, Carlton is a little incel. He is giving little cokehead coon gremlin realness, and I can't. Like, I really just can't. Like, I know that that's your son, and I know that this has been the status quo or whatever, but to me, Uncle Phil was just way too willing to like send, or just way too interested in sending Will right back to where he came from. And literally the only thing that kind of like stops them or like puts a pause in their tracks is that when they go in there to talk to him, he's already crying because he's on the phone, or he just talked to his mom and hears about his homeboy getting shot. And then it's like, oh yeah, this is why he's here, because had he not been here, he would have been the one shot as well. All the while, y'all's little privileged miniature, like, how tall is Carlton? He's giving 4'3". Like, y'all little miniature minion is running around here wreaking havoc because he done lost his girl. Meanwhile, he lost his girl beforehand. He's coked out of his mind, which, y'all, I don't know if it's really coke, but I don't know if he's just snorting Xanax. I tell you that. It's giving a little bit too crackish, too crack adjacent for it to just be Xanax. So I'm gonna go with coke. He's giving me cokehead coon until further notice. So yes, y'all's little miniature minion cokehead coon son is literally the problem, and y'all are so willing to just, well, not y'all, because Aunt Viv ain't having it, thank God. But Uncle Phil, my eyes is on you. Now we get our first little family breakfast. Carlton is still stewing about the night before. They're trying to let bygones be bygones and really blow past it, trying to put Carlton and Will in a position to get along. Carlton is still holding a grudge, leaves Will, and it's just like, all right, so this is the beginning of this. I cannot believe for like all of 15 minutes in episode 1 I really like Carlton, because it's literally throughout this episode where he is running amok, and I'm just like, wow, you really made a bad decision before, Erica, but we're here now. We get to see Will at school. This is his first day at school, and this was a little bit awkward and weird. He's at class. He knows to be able to go to the right class, but nobody else is there. They're at an assembly, and then while he's roaming the halls looking for everybody, he gets chased by the school security, and he runs. So first of all, Will, why the hell did you run? Second of all, how did you know which class to go to, but you didn't know that nobody was going to be there? This winds up pushing him into running into the assembly as Carlton is speaking, and he uses this as another opportunity to try to embarrass Will and set him straight. These are his people. Carlton, these are not your people. Like, it's just the coonery for me. Like, what? And look, no offense to any short kings out there, but this boy is literally 4'1". I can't. Also in this episode, we get to see more about Uncle Phil and his run for DA. He does a radio interview with Big Boy because he is trying to drum up press and support and all of that. Even still, I'm not necessarily feeling him, because again, I don't like how he is handling the whole Will thing. And something gives me Snake vibes about Uncle Phil. Like, the original Uncle Phil was a very stand-up guy. This Uncle Phil is giving me something's going on, and we just don't know what it is yet. But I don't know if it's just because this whole series is a lot darker, so everybody feels like they got a little something to their character or not, but that's what it is. I'm loving, especially now that Carlton is completely in a tizzy and completely losing his mind, I'm loving every single moment we get to see Will and Lisa flirt with each other and kiki, because they deserve and they look good together. And Carlton, you will go ahead and eat it. How about that? I love that we got more to Hilary's story in this episode. This episode, we get to see her go on her interview with this very elite culinary magazine where she's trying to get a job. However, they basically tell her that she's great, but she needs to dull it down. She needs to change her clothes. She needs to use less seasoning. She needs to basically not be all of who she is, and she ain't having it. And I'm totally here for it. I love this rebrand, this remake of Hilary Banks, because she's not just this little airhead that's gonna, or a pushover that's gonna let people do or say whatever they want to her. She is literally the person who is struggling within her early 20s to figure out what is going she's gonna do next, what she's gonna do with her life, even though she has an idea and a passion and she's pursuing it. And a big part of her story and conflict is trying to pursue and figure it out, like trying to pursue what she thinks she wants to do and figure it out, all the while managing her mother's expectations of her and what success actually looks like. Her and Aunt Viv actually have a conversation about this, and it's like Ashley's little quick anecdotes. Like, we definitely need more Ashley in this series because we don't have enough, but she has a conversation with Aunt Viv after the fact and is telling her all of this, and Aunt Viv is like, well, you need to negotiate and you need to compromise. It's like, well, some things you don't need to compromise on. And I love that they're like adding little seeds of now into the show. Like, this show is a very of the day show, so they literally explore concepts about like Gen Z and how they are much more vocal and are not going to allow themselves to get put into positions where they're going to overwork themselves and do burnout. They're not going to stay in places where they feel unwanted or unwelcome. Like, it's just so refreshing to see them explore this and actually integrate it into the storyline. I just thought it was really, really cool. Hilary goes on to out the magazine on her social media, and we know that this is going to be something that they definitely call back to because they spent a good amount of time letting her go live and talk about the experience. And again, I'm just totally here for it. Before the episode ends, we get to see Will make the basketball team. He has a moment where he connects with Jazz and he's telling him about what happened back in Philly, how he feels guilty about Trey getting shot, how he hasn't been able to touch a basketball, but he needs to get back to it. So he tries out for the team, actually makes the team, and this is where we're going to start to see the ascension of Will in the Bel Air Academy, like social economy. Carlton really thought that he thought that he had this on lock. He thought that he was going to be the most popular black kid, and now he feels away. He's even in their little training room talking about, oh, you're a little hood dude that decides to make it at a school because of basketball. Boy, I don't think I cannot like Carlton like any more than I do. But I absolutely love the scene when they both were in a little training room and Carlton was getting out of the ice and Will is going into the ice. And Will puts him on notice like, yeah, you thought you was comfortable. You thought you was it. I'm coming for any and everything that you actually adore or love or whatever. Any girl who actually made the mistake of thinking your little goofy ass was somebody to like. Any friend who thought that you was it and you was popping and you was cool because you ain't. Guess what? I'm coming through. You gonna need to step aside. And I was totally here for it. But you knew that was going to not go off without a hitch, because pretty much immediately we get scenes of Will checking in with his coach and his teammate and then about to leave school, and of course he randomly gets searched. First of all, do you got probable cause? Because don't be walking up on me talking about something, let me search your bag. It's a no, but Will lets that happen, and come to find out there's some kind of substance, some little white powder that the security guard finds in Will's bag, and Carlton's standing there looking all dumbfounded, because come to find out Connor is the one who planted that on him to try to get him up out of there. And it's the cowardliness for me. Like, Carlton, do you see, like, even if you didn't tell him to do this is your ace boom. Like, this is your homie. This is your ride or die right here. He's doing this goofy clown stuff. Like, you're literally a part of the circus. Do you not see it? You can at any point turn around, make a different decision and be better, but you continue to be a clown in this circus. And I hate that for you. I can't even look at Carlton without thinking Green Goblin. Like, the amount of disdain I have for this boy. And the episode kind of cuts off there. I also love, like, in this episode, we get a moment with Lisa and Carlton where Lisa has to remind him, like, yo, you really need to chill out. You know, you're not of my concern anymore. She wipes a little bit of yah from his nose because he was just snorting. So clearly this is definitely a problem. It's something that she actually had to deal with when she was with you and she no longer wants to deal with anymore. And all of the animosity that, you know, Carlton is brewing for Will, you can definitely see come out in this conversation, because he warns her, like, you need to stay away from Will. And that's for not only for him, but also for your safety as well. And it's like, what are you gonna do for two? What are you gonna do? Like, I can't. And you supposedly like this girl. You supposedly was giving her time so that y'all could like heal and then you could make your way back to each other. You don't even feel, it don't even seem like you like her. Like, look at how you're interacting with her, but you like her, but you want her, but you love her. Lisa, how in the hell did this relationship actually start? Because girl, he ain't giving, honey. Oh, also in this episode, we get a quick conversation between Aunt Viv and Will's mama, and we get that little sister interaction. I'm totally here for it. The mama had to let her know, like, yo, I sent my son out there to be protected, not to be accosted and harassed and put in a situation where he really should not necessarily be navigating. It's already tough enough coming from West Philly. Now he got to deal with this privileged elite and your little son coming after him because he's jealous, and y'all need to give him a therapist and teach him how to be a better person, not trying to come after Will. And I definitely think that there's going to be some more sisterly back and forth with that. I like how we're seeing them interact, and I think that it's going to be, I think Will's mom is going to be a little bit more integrated into this series than what she was in the original. At some point, I could definitely see her making a transition out here, but that's literally just a speculation on my part. That's not actually any seeds that are planted in this episode. All right, y'all, I think that is it. That is my breakdown of episode 2. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on your bell notifications because I have episode 3 coming as well. And then every week on Thursdays, they will be doing new episodes on Peacock. If you have yet to check out Bel Air, you can do so on Peacock. And I will be working to get you new videos every week after the new episodes premiere. So subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and jump down in the comments and let me know what you're thinking about the series so far. See you in the next one.